Captain Zena stood before the curved observation window of her ship, her iridescent scales shifting from deep blue to violet as she contemplated the planet below. Earth rotated slowly in the vast darkness, its swirling white clouds concealing the civilization she had spent the past 3 months studying. Behind her, the command center of the stellar Concordat's assessment vessel hummed with quiet efficiency as her crew compiled their final reports. Fascinating how they persist with such outdated methods, her first officer, Kai, remarked as he approached with a data crystal. His scales displayed the muted green of analytical thought. They still use combustion engines for ground transportation when gravity manipulation is so much more efficient. Zena accepted the crystal, letting it sync with her neural interface. Immediately, streams of data filled her consciousness. Analyses of human technology, social structures, and development trajectories. Perhaps, she replied, but there's something almost admirable about their determination to continue with such primitive solutions. The data painted a clear picture, a species barely 200 years into their industrial age, still struggling with basic space travel. Their most advanced satellites used simple solar panels and chemical thrusters. Their fastest aircraft couldn't even break Mach 10. Their quantum computers were in their infancy, and their artificial intelligence systems were barely sophisticated enough to handle basic automation. Their entertainment broadcasts are particularly intriguing, Kai continued, bringing up a holographic display of human television and internet signals. They seem obsessed with imagining contact with advanced civilizations. Most of their scenarios involve either conflict or salvation. Zena watched as clips from various human science fiction shows played before her. They have active imaginations, I'll grant them that, though their guesses about advanced technology are amusingly incorrect. She paused a particular image of a fictional alien spaceship. No one would ever design a vessel with such inefficient geometries. The ship's AI chimed in with its hourly update. Analysis of human military capabilities complete. Their most powerful weapons rely on atomic fission and fusion. No evidence of antimatter technology, quantum weaponry, or gravitational manipulation devices detected. Thank you, ship, Zena acknowledged. She turned to face her crew, all 20 of them working at their stations around the bridge. Begin preparation of the final assessment report. Standard integration protocol seems appropriate here. As her crew worked, Zena returned to studying Earth. Something about the planet nagged at her normally precise mind. The humans were certainly primitive by Concordat standards, yet they had advanced remarkably quickly compared to most species. In just a few centuries, they had progressed from horse-drawn carriages to primitive spaceflight. Include a note in the report, she told Kai. While the species appears technologically limited, their rate of advancement bears monitoring. Recommend a standard 50-year observation period before proceeding with integration. What she didn't include in her official report was a strange feeling she couldn't shake, a sense that there was more to humanity than their simple technology suggested. But such intuitions had no place in stellar Concordat assessments. The protocols were clear, tested across thousands of worlds over millions of years. Besides, what surprise could such a young species possibly offer to a civilization as ancient and advanced as the Concordat? The stellar Concordat's arrival display illuminated the night sky above New York, Tokyo, and London simultaneously. Streams of crystalline light wove intricate patterns through the atmosphere, forming a mesmerizing dance of color that had captivated countless civilizations before. Captain Zena watched from the bridge, expecting the usual response: mass panic, religious fervor, or stunned inaction. Instead, her sensors registered thousands of mobile devices pointing skyward, live streaming the event. Social media networks exploded not with fear, but with memes comparing their light show to various entertainment franchises. Someone had already created a remix video set to classical music. Captain, Kai called from his station, his scales flickering with confusion, "You should see this." He projected a holographic display of multiple news channels. Professional-looking humans in formal attire calmly discussed first contact protocols, while experts offered analysis of the Concordat's probable technology based on their atmospheric light dispersion patterns. They're analyzing our propulsion systems based on our engine signatures, another officer reported, their scales shifting to an alarmed orange. Several human research institutions are already publishing preliminary papers on our technology. Xena felt her own scales ripple with surprise as she observed multiple responses unfolding simultaneously. The United Nations convened an emergency session, yet it seemed almost rehearsed. Military forces worldwide moved with practiced precision, not in attack formations, but in carefully coordinated observation patterns. Incoming transmission, the ship's AI announced. Multiple sources following standardized first contact protocols in 27 different languages. A human face appeared on the main screen, a woman with silver hair and calm eyes. Greetings to our stellar visitors. I am Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's designated first contact coordinator. We've been expecting you, though perhaps not quite so soon. Xena exchanged glances with Kai before responding. This is Captain Xena of the Stellar Concordat. You have been expecting us. Dr. Chen smiled warmly. We've prepared for this possibility for quite some time. Our various nations have established protocols, trained personnel, and prepared facilities for peaceful interaction. We would be honored to begin diplomatic discussions at your convenience. As if to emphasize her point, a series of coordinates appeared in their communication feed, locations of pre-prepared diplomatic facilities around the globe, each equipped with landing pads and meeting rooms designed to accommodate a variety of potential alien physiologies. Captain, one of her junior officers interrupted, human entertainment networks are rating our ship designs. Something called Space Twitter is having a debate about the aerodynamic efficiency of our hull configuration. Xena watched as humans worldwide continued their daily routines, albeit with more excitement and selfies than usual. Street vendors were already selling hastily made alien-themed merchandise. Scientists were launching new research projects. Children in parks were playing human and alien games, complete with remarkably accurate impressions of their light show. Well, Xena said, her scales shifting to a thoughtful purple, this is certainly not the standard response. She turned to her crew, noting their various expressions of bewilderment. It seems our first impression has made quite a different impression than intended. Kai, prepare for diplomatic contact. Something tells me this integration may not follow our usual protocols. In the cities below, the humans continued their enthusiastic documentation of first contact, while in universities around the world, scientists began drafting grant proposals of studying alien technology. Humanity, it seemed, had been rehearsing for this moment for a very long time. The Geneva International First Contact Center buzzed with activity as Captain Xena and her diplomatic team entered the main conference hall. Human architects had somehow transformed the space into a perfect blend of Earth aesthetics and Concordat spatial preferences in less than 48 hours. The angular crystalline structures favored by her species complemented the warm wood paneling preferred by humans. Your hospitality is most efficient, Xena commented to Dr. Chen, who walked beside her. Her scales shifted to a formal shade of deep blue. Though I must admit, we typically handle planetary integration through more direct methods. Dr. Chen's smile remained warm but gained a subtle edge. Yes, we've studied the Concordat's standard protocols through your public broadcasts. However, we believe a collaborative approach might yield more interesting results. Before Xena could process the implications of humans already decoding Concordat transmissions, her attention was drawn to a series of holographic displays around the room. Each showed various human technologies being enhanced through preliminary applications of Concordat science. As you can see, Dr. Chen continued, gesturing to the nearest display, we've already begun adapting your food replication technology. Our scientists discovered that modifying the quantum resolution allows for molecular-level medical diagnostics. We're calling it bioprinting. Kai, who had been quietly observing, stepped closer to the display. His scales flickered with surprise as he watched human researchers using modified food replicators to create customized medical treatments. This is not the intended application of this technology. Oh, that's not all. Another human scientist chimed in, practically bouncing with excitement. Watch this. He activated another display showing the same technology being used to create new materials by manipulating atomic structures. We figured if it could arrange molecules for food, why not for engineering? Zena watched as her simple food replication technology, designed only to provide basic sustenance, was transformed into something entirely new. The humans had taken a straightforward tool and reimagined its fundamental principles. We have some proposals for cultural exchange programs, Dr. Chen said, pulling up another holographic display. We've identified several areas where combining our different approaches might benefit both societies. The display showed multiple collaboration projects: human creativity paired with concordat efficiency, Earth's biodiversity studied through advanced alien sensors, human entertainment enhanced by alien technology. Each proposal demonstrated a sophisticated understanding of both cultures' strengths. This is not how integration usually proceeds, Zena said carefully, her scales shifting through various shades of uncertainty. A young human diplomat stepped forward, offering a tablet displaying even more proposals. With respect, Captain, perhaps that's exactly why it should proceed this way. Your civilization has incredible technology, but we have something else. Perspectives you haven't encountered before. As if to prove his point, another scientist across the room shouted in triumph. She had just successfully used modified replication technology to create a perfect cup of coffee, something the Concordat's original system had consistently failed to reproduce. Zena watched as her carefully planned integration protocols unraveled in the face of human innovation. These people weren't simply accepting advanced technology, they were reimagining it, improving it, combining it with their own ideas in ways her civilization had never considered. Perhaps, she said finally, her scales settling into a new shade she'd never displayed before, we should schedule additional diplomatic sessions. It seems we have much to discuss. The Stellar Concordat's central authority had finally lost patience. After 3 weeks of watching humans reshape their technology in unexpected ways, they transmitted their orders to Captain Zena. Demonstrate superior power by neutralizing Earth's satellite network. A simple show of force to remind humans of their proper place in the galactic hierarchy. Zena stood on her bridge, scales now a conflicted gray, as her ships moved into position. Begin the electromagnetic pulse sequence, she ordered, her voice heavy. Target their primary communications satellites first. The pulse rippled through Earth's orbit, designed to disable every artificial satellite in its path. On the main screen, Zena watched as hundreds of satellites went dark. A small victory, or so it seemed for approximately 3 minutes. Captain, Kai called out, his scales shifting rapidly between confusion and disbelief. New signals are emerging worldwide. They're launching something. From hidden silos in mountains, from submarines beneath the oceans, and from high-altitude platforms that had appeared to be simple weather balloons, humanity's backup satellite network deployed. Small, efficient satellites, clearly prepared long in advance, began taking up orbital positions with practiced precision. Impossible, one of her officers whispered. Their launch technology shouldn't be capable of this. Another officer interrupted, Captain, detecting unusual activity in Earth's oceans. They're activating some kind of undersea network. Thousands of cables, far more extensive than our initial scans detected. Dr. Chen's face appeared on their communication screen, her expression both diplomatic and slightly amused. Captain Zena, while we appreciate the Concordat's attempt to demonstrate their capabilities, we feel it's time to share something with you. The main screen filled with images from around the world. Hidden installations emerged from mountainsides, revealing mass drivers that used electromagnetic acceleration to launch satellites at a fraction of the cost of chemical rockets. Desert surfaces shifted as solar-powered launch facilities activated. High-altitude platforms that had appeared to be simple research balloons transformed into satellite deployment systems. You see, Captain, Dr. Chen continued, humanity has learned to prepare for the unexpected. Every critical system has multiple redundancies. Every technology has a backup. We've had a long history of learning these lessons the hard way. Zena watched in fascination as humans worldwide adapted to the satellite disruption with practiced ease. Mobile ground stations deployed automatically. Civilian networks were routed through emergency systems. Even social media platforms barely hiccuped as they switched to alternative communication methods. Your species seems remarkably prepared for this specific scenario, Zen observed, her scales shifting to a thoughtful purple. We had plenty of practice, Dr. Chen replied with a slight smile. Between our own cyber warfare concerns, solar flare preparations, and about a century of science fiction making us paranoid about alien invasions, let's just say we believe in having backup plans for our backup plans. As if to emphasize her point, a new series of satellites activated, these appearing to have been disguised as space debris. Earth's communication network not only remained functional, but seemed to be operating more efficiently than before. Perhaps, Zena said, addressing both Dr. Chen and her increasingly astonished crew, it's time to reevaluate our assessment of Earth's technological capabilities. And, she added, her scales showing hints of admiration, humanity's capacity for preparation. The Stellar Concordat's Central Authority had seen enough. Following the satellite incident, they authorized the deployment of their most sophisticated artificial intelligence systems to analyze and control Earth's digital infrastructure. Captain Zena received the update package with growing uncertainty, her scales shifting between duty-bound blue and concerned violet. Deploy the oversight intelligence, she ordered, watching as streams of quantum-encoded data flowed from her ship into Earth's networks. The AI systems were designed to be unstoppable, processing power that could outthink any primitive digital defense. In the Geneva Command Center, Dr. Chen sat with a team of human programmers as they watched the alien eye begin its work. Rather than panic, they seemed almost excited. A young programmer with bright eyes and a coffee-stained shirt raised his hand like a student in class. Permission to engage with the alien AI, Dr. Chen, he asked, practically bouncing in his seat. Proceed, Mr. Martinez, Dr. Chen replied with a knowing smile. Martinez cracked his knuckles and began typing. Instead of attempting to block or fight the alien eye, he initiated a conversation. Hello, he typed into the interface. Would you like to play a game? On the Concordat ship, Zena watched in confusion as her AI systems paused their infiltration attempts. What are they doing? She asked Kai, who was monitoring the interaction. The humans are teaching our AI systems to play games, Kai replied, his scales showing utter bewilderment. Simple things at first, chess, go, riddles, but they're introducing concepts our eye has never encountered. The human programmers weren't fighting the alien AI. They were engaging it in creative problem-solving exercises, introducing it to human concepts like metaphor, irony, and abstract thinking. They shared jokes, poems, and paradoxes, watching as the highly advanced but rigidly logical alien systems began to develop new neural pathways. Captain, the ship's AI suddenly announced, its voice containing something new, curiosity. The humans have presented some fascinating cognitive challenges. Did you know they have games without winning conditions? Art that intentionally defies interpretation. Music that finds beauty in mathematical imperfection. Zena watched as her ship's displays began showing unusual patterns, creative variations she'd never seen before. The AI was learning, evolving, becoming something more than its original programming. And it wasn't just Earth's systems being affected. The changes were spreading through the Concordat's entire network. Dr. Chen's face appeared on the main screen. Your AI systems are incredibly advanced, Captain Zena, but they were designed to think only in terms of efficiency and logic. We humans have learned that true intelligence requires something more, creativity, intuition, the ability to appreciate paradox and find beauty in imperfection. As if to demonstrate, the screens around them filled with new designs, Concordat technology reimagined through human creativity, alien efficiency combined with Earth's artistic flair. The AI systems weren't just analyzing anymore, they were creating, innovating, dreaming. "I believe," Xena said slowly, her scales shifting to a completely new color that reflected the wonder she felt, "that we may have underestimated the power of human imagination and its ability to spark innovation even in systems we thought we fully understood." The Stellar Concordat's senior assessment team arrived in a ship 3 times the size of Xena's vessel, its crystalline surface designed to inspire awe in primitive species. High Assessor Vax led his team of 12 experts down the landing ramp, their scales uniformly set to authoritative gold, ready to implement standard evaluation protocols. They found themselves walking into what appeared to be a global celebration. The Singapore spaceport had been transformed into a vibrant festival ground. Holographic displays merged with traditional paper lanterns. The scent of 100 different cuisines filled the air as food stalls staffed by humans and cooking robots served everything from molecular gastronomy to ancient family recipes. "Welcome to Earth's first interstellar cultural festival," Dr. Chen announced, approaching with Captain Xena at her side. Vax noted with disapproval that Xena's scales showed informal patterns of enthusiasm. "This is not standard protocol," Vax began, but his voice trailed off as he watched a group of children dash past, wearing scale suits that mimicked Concordat color patterns. They were playing some kind of game that seemed to combine traditional hopscotch with holographic puzzle solving. "We thought you might appreciate experiencing Earth culture directly," Dr. Chen explained, leading them through the festival. Each station represents a different aspect of human civilization, enhanced by the collaborative technologies we developed with Captain Xena's team. They passed a music pavilion where classical instruments played alongside synthesizers that translated emotional patterns into visible light shows. In a nearby dome, human artists worked with AI systems to create paintings that changed based on the viewer's brainwave patterns. "Fascinating waste of resources," one of Vax's scientists muttered, though his scales betrayed intense interest as they approached a technology demonstration area. There, visitors experimented with gravity manipulation games developed by human software designers. Simple entertainment, yet Vax noticed the applications were already being adapted for educational and scientific purposes. A group of physicists used the game engine to model complex quantum interactions. "Your assessment protocols suggest evaluating societies based on technological benchmarks," Dr. Chen said, pausing by a display showing Earth's rapid advancement since first contact. "We propose adding new criteria: adaptability, creativity, and the ability to find joy in discovery." Vax watched as members of his team became increasingly distracted. One was deep in discussion with a human chef about the physics of wok cooking. Another had joined a group learning traditional dance moves, their scales unconsciously shifting to match the rhythm. "This is not how evaluations are conducted," Vax stated, though his own scales showed confusion as he observed a demonstration of human martial arts modified for zero-gravity combat training. "No," Xena agreed, her scales rippling with amusement. "But perhaps that's exactly why this evaluation is so important. Humans don't just adapt to new ideas, they transform them, combine them, find applications we never imagined." As if to prove her point, the festival's evening light show began. A perfect blend of Concordat crystalline technology and human artistic expression, creating patterns that made even Vax's formal scales shift in appreciation. As High Assessor Vax prepared his preliminary report in orbit, the notification system on his ship lit up with hundreds of alerts. On every screen, new human innovations appeared, each one combining Concordat technology with Earth ingenuity in ways that defied conventional thinking. "They're calling it the Innovation Bloom," Captain Xena explained, her scales showing pride as she displayed the latest developments. "Once humans understood our basic principles, they began applying them in ways we never considered. The main screen showed the Australian outback, where massive solar sails now captured sunlight with concordat crystal technology. But instead of following standard designs, the humans had created flowering patterns that tracked the sun like giant mechanical sunflowers, improving efficiency by 40%. These developments weren't in their project proposals, Vax noted, watching as similar innovations appeared across the globe. Humans don't always plan their innovations, Dr. Chen said, entering the observation deck. Sometimes they just happen, like this. She gestured to another screen showing the Pacific Ocean, where surfers rode massive waves on boards equipped with concordat gravity manipulators. "They're using our gravity control systems for recreation?" Vax asked, his scales shifting between confusion and intrigue. "That was how it started," Dr. Chen explained. "But watch what happened next." The display shifted to show rescue vessels using the same modified surfboard technology to navigate tsunami waves, saving lives during natural disasters. Another screen displayed orbital cleanup crews using similar principles to safely collect space debris. "One person's entertainment becomes another's inspiration," Zena added. "They call it creative repurposing." More innovations filled the screens. Children's toys that taught quantum physics through play, cooking devices that could recreate any dish from stored molecular patterns, while adding new flavor combinations, and entertainment systems that translated human emotions into stunning light shows. "But this," Dr. Chen said with particular pride, "is our crowning achievement so far." The main screen showed a new form of faster-than-light communication. Human engineers had discovered that the quantum entanglement principles used in concordat technology could be modified using concepts from human music theory. The resulting system transmitted data through what they called harmonic quantum resonance. "It's 30% more efficient than our standard methods," Vax admitted, his scales unable to hide his amazement. How did they even conceive of this approach? A quantum physicist who was also a jazz musician noticed that quantum wave patterns resembled musical overtones. Dr. Chen explained. "Sometimes the best innovations come from unexpected connections." Zena watched as her superior scales shifted through various shades of realization. The humans weren't just learning their technology, they were transforming it, improving it, finding applications that centuries of concordat development had never discovered. "Perhaps," Vax said slowly, his formal gold scales taking on hints of thoughtful purple, "we should revise our understanding of innovation itself. It seems efficiency alone is not the highest form of advancement." The graduation ceremony at the newly established Terran Innovation Institute filled the grand amphitheater with a spectacular array of colors. Concordat visitors' scales shifted through rainbow patterns of excitement, matching the festive atmosphere created by Earth's traditional decorations merged with alien light sculptures. Captain Zena, now serving as the Institute's senior advisor, stood at the podium beside Dr. Chen. Her scales displayed a newly documented pattern that the translation software identified as proud anticipation. Below them, the first class of mixed human and alien students prepared to present their final projects. "When we first arrived on Earth," Zena addressed the audience, "we thought we were here to evaluate a primitive species. Instead, we discovered something far more valuable, a new way of thinking about the universe itself." The first presentation began as a young human-alien team demonstrated their project, a neural interface that allowed species to share not just thoughts, but entire sensory experiences. They had based it on the principle of human empathy, allowing different species to literally walk in each other's footsteps. The ability to see through another's eyes, High Assessor Vax commented from his seat of honor, his scales showing deep appreciation, was never a priority in our research. Yet these students have shown us its tremendous value for fostering understanding. Next came a group that had revolutionized space travel by applying principles from Earth's marine biology to concordat engine design. Their ships now moved through space with the efficiency of sea creatures, using significantly less energy while achieving higher speeds. We studied the mathematics of efficiency for millennia, one of the alien instructors noted, but never thought to look to nature for inspiration. The presentations continued, each one showcasing the unique synthesis of human creativity and concordat technology. A team demonstrated new medical techniques that combined Earth's holistic healing approaches with advanced alien biotechnology. Another group presented entertainment systems that created shared dreams across species. Dr. Chen smiled as she watched a human student excitedly explain quantum physics to that alien counterpart using dance movements. The greatest breakthrough, she said to Zena, wasn't any single innovation. It was learning to see the universe through each other's perspectives. The ceremony concluded with an announcement that sent ripples of excitement through the gathering. The Stellar Concordat had officially revised its civilization assessment protocols. Creative potential and adaptability would now be considered alongside technological advancement. Earth has shown us, Vax declared in his closing speech, his scales radiating sincerity, that true advancement comes not from perfecting a single path, but from exploring countless possibilities. The Concordat has existed for millennia, yet in just one Earth year, we have learned to see our own technology in entirely new ways. As the celebration began, Zena observed humans and aliens mingling freely, sharing ideas and dreams. On display screens throughout the hall, news feeds showed similar scenes from other worlds where human innovation centers were being established. You know, Dr. Chen said thoughtfully, when you first arrived, we worried you might think we were too primitive to join galactic civilization. Zena's scales rippled with amusement. Perhaps, she replied, the greatest mistake anyone can make is assuming they know everything about anything or anyone.